goodness for the Coca-Cola Cup. So says Dennis Bergkamp, currently in the midst of a suspension from Premiership football that will last for a whole month. This is his only chance of a game in that time. The likes of Ian Wright and David Seaman have been rested. Only 4 of this lineup were in the team that beat Manchester United here 9 days ago. It is a far more experienced side than for the extra time win over Birmingham in the last round, though. It's a side that includes Martin Keown playing his first senior game since busting his shoulder on England duty in the summer. He hasn't got the pace of Darren Huckabee to worry about, not from the start anyway. Huckabee's been nursing a thigh injury which confines him to a place on the Coventry bench. Dion Dublin's partner in attack tonight is even taller than him. He's Simon Hayworth, who this time last week was preparing for his first international start for Wales in Brazil. Gerald Ashby is the man in charge. Arsenal did beat Coventry City with 2 Ian Wright goals here in the opening week of the season. But only 2 members of that winning team are on duty again tonight. It's pretty much the same Coventry this evening, and they have recorded a couple of wins and a couple of draws at Highbury during the last 6 years. Hayworth on the ball. And the ball bounced kindly for him off the flag. The assistant is flagging for a throw-in. It's maybe not Highbury at its most intimidating this evening. A fairly modest attendance. An early Coventry pressure. Dublin beaten to it by Bold. Chance for Roland Nielsen to play it into Gary McAllister, and for Telford across, and Hayworth to get a touch. Smuggled away as far as Hall. And Dublin is there, if anything took it away from Breed. Spectacular overhead clearance by David Flowers, found Nicholas Anelka. And there are 4 Arsenal men in the break here. Anelka has Mendes clear to his right. Instead found Bergkamp. And Kruzovic, happy to see that pass his right-hand post. I did think that he got a touch, and rather belatedly a corner has been given. It was a daisy cutter from Bergkamp and a fingertip from Kruzovic. Didn't miss by much, did it? Kruzovic will be hoping for a quieter night in the absence of Ian Wright, with whom he's had some famous and infamous duels in recent years. Oh, he missed that one. It was Dublin who headed it away as far as Parlour, and that came off Hall for an Arsenal corner. Ray Parlour, the only man in the Arsenal team with a winner's medal in this competition. He played against Sheffield Wednesday in the 1993 final. Hughes with the corner. McAllister got a touch, and Telfer had a little bit of time to clear his lines. Burrows under pressure from Anelka. There's a Coventry throw. Anelka just clipped by Burrows, who didn't care for the way the Frenchman went down. He was right under the nose of the assistant on the near side. Bold, Upson and Keown are all 4 from the back. Bergkamp's free kick. Hit by Mendes. And he does have a bit of a reputation within the club, Alberto Mendes, for his shooting. One of the players who has given his debut in the last round against Birmingham City. He marked that occasion with a debut goal. Dublin just trying to cushion that for Hayworth. If he had a bit of hair, he'd be able to. Not looking confused with the return ball. McAllister, Nielsen, Williams. Run rather kindly there for McAllister struck bold, and it may open up for the Coventry captain. It's a terrific save by Manninger, and Dublin, and with the help of Keown, Arsenal survive. Well, it was a dramatic shot from Gary McAllister, and a save to match from Alex Manninger, and Dion Dublin just unable to capitalise. And now Arsenal have a free kick and a chance to catch their breath, because McAllister, a renowned striker of the ball, caught that beautifully, and that was really spectacular keeping from Manninger, although he did need Keown to scoop him out of trouble at the end. Keown to Mendes, just trying to slip it into the path of the on-rushing Parlour. Mendes stealing the ball from Burrows. He wasn't the best of passes from Green. This is Dixon with three in the box. One of them, Bergkamp. Well, by the standard of some of the miraculous goals that he scored this season, that was virtually a sitter. Just pushed it a little bit too far in front of him, and he was stretching and poking at it. On by Williams, looking for Hall again. Not enough craft to outfox Lee Dixon there. Given away by Bergkamp. Dublin 2, McAllister. Quite as good as his earlier effort. Coventry City are locked into a stubborn run at present. One defeat in their last 10 games, that at Barnsley a month ago. Mind you, they've only won 3 times in that run. 2 of those against Blackpool and Everton in this competition. Keown has found Dixon. That was beautifully weighted. And here's Lee Dixon, and here's Nicholas Anelka. Underside of the crossbar. Hughes looking for Anelka again, and it's smuggled clear by Telfer. It's the closest we've had to a goal by some distance. Alberto Mendes, and David Burrows manages not only to win the ball but set up a counter. Paul Williams picking up the baton. It's all to his right, and there were other possibilities other than that rather difficult straight pass for Hayworth, but Nicholas Anelka's so close to giving Arsenal the lead. Player's been stopped because David Burrows is injured. Well, it was a full-blooded hit from Anelka. What a lovely pass initially from Keown into the path of Dixon. That was Beckenbauer stuff, and another excellent contribution from Dixon, and a really near miss for young Anelka. Dixon picked him out very precisely. Header from Shaw. Platt. Here's Bergkamp. On again towards David Platt. Oh, terrific move. It was a good hit on the volley. He applauds the return ball from Bergkamp, which was delicious, but it was dropping, and it was very difficult for Platt to hit cleanly. He did that, but Akrizovic got everything behind it. Williams now, and Hayworth just offside. Well, David Platt is undergoing a bit of a revival at present, not least thanks to that dramatic winning goal against Manchester United. He's always been capable of volleying the ball well on the move like that. Anelka. Mendes.
Keep on going that way! Keep on going that way! Well done, you've gone! You lucky boy!
Somehow found a way through to Bergkamp. It's the last action of the first half, which was very evenly contested for 20 or 30 minutes. In fact, Gary McAllister brought out the best save of those opening moments from Alex Manninger. But Arsenal had a purple patch in the closing stages, during which Bergkamp missed a couple of chances and Nicholas Anelka was denied by the woodwork. At the break, it's Arsenal 0, Coventry City 0. Tonight's winners will be just 2 rounds away from a Wembley final, and still the possibility that success in the competition may carry a European place. That matter is in arbitration. Simon Hayworth to Paul Williams. And now Paul Telfer trying to pick up the pace for Coventry, who were outplayed in the closing stages of the first half. Their win at Selhurst Park against Wimbledon at the start of the month was not only their first away success, but brought their first away goals of the season too. Upson only to Nielsen. This is McAllister. Now Williams. Telfer. It's crossed it well to Dion Dublin. And it bounced in front of Manninger, who was having just to push it round the post. A big thumbs up from Dion Dublin to Paul Telfer, who hooked that cross in with the left foot, and it was cleverly guided by Coventry's leading scorer. 3 goals in 2 matches since his return from a rather harsh suspension. McAllister's corner. Platt got it in front of Bold, then Breen turned it down, and then Keown turned it away. Now it's Bergkamp against 2 defenders, and Anelka is up in support now. And Bergkamp is aware of that, but Richard Shaw has charged down the cross. And Bergkamp seems to be aware of everything around him. No way round Burrows for Alberto Mendes. Dublin trying to find Hayworth. Upson finding Williams. McAllister's pass onside here. Telford chasing in behind Matthew Upson. Lovely pass from McAllister. He's up in support here with Hayworth. And they were just not quite on the same wavelength there, McAllister and Hayworth. And Anelka now has a chance to counter for Arsenal. Trying to cut across Shaw. No free kick. It had been a free kick, I suspect it would have been from the spot. He did the right thing. He tried to cut across the defender and force the contact. Shaw was struggling to get back. Well, there was a little forearm in Anelka's back. I don't know. Tough call from a referee who, through no fault of his own, is trying to catch up there. He's had a pretty good view of it, I suppose, Gerald Ashby. Almost 31,000 inside Highbury tonight. Very loyal reaction from support who are clearly happy to see 1 or 2 of the fringe first-team squad players that they wouldn't normally see on Premiership duty. And to see Bergkamp here. Played into the path of Mendes. He's made space for himself, deflected against the post. And for the second time tonight, Coventry City are saved by the woodwork. Well, he had good luck and bad luck there, Alberto Mendes, and so did Stephen Grizovic, because his shot was clearly deflected. It seemed to take a couple of ricochets on the way through, and that's what really foxed to Grizovic. But whilst his hand couldn't reach it, his post did. Mendes shot against Breen and against the post.
There we go!
Gary Pendry joining in the chorus with Gordon Strachan. Little flick from Ray, and Bergkamp trying to feed off it, and Breen's the defender. Oh! And Grizovic didn't dare catch it. Hughes loitered when he might have had an early crack at it. Upson straight to Dublin, and it seems the chance has passed. Ray, who caused the initial upset in the Coventry defence, having his shorts tugged on by Platt. Well, instead his Bergkamp didn't read it. Too clever for him. Hughes has got it back. Loose play from Coventry. Christopher Ray. Tackled by Roland Nielsen, though. Hayworth making the run.
On the goal!
Cross goes Steve Bold. Oh, he's lost out to Hayworth here, and Hayworth's got double in support. It's Hayworth, stopped by Manninger. And not for the first time tonight, the young Welsh forward decided to do it himself. And not for the first time tonight, the young Austrian goalkeeper distinguished himself. It wasn't clear-cut what Hayworth should have done there, but the angle wasn't great for the shot. He did have 2 men in support. 20 minutes remaining. McAllister takes. Little flick at the near post, and it came for Hayworth. Off the head of Paul, and the chance had come and gone before he realised it. Little touch from Paul, and, well, just behind him, and he was just trying to control it as much as anything. But he nicked the ball there from Steve Bold. Dublin, you can see in the foreground, there was somebody else in the box. And Manninger was all over him, really, and blocking out the light. Ray towards Bergkamp, held off by Shaw. Bergkamp trying to turn Shaw, he just stumbled. Well, Shaw did have a little tug at him, didn't he? Ray, good turn. Good tackle too from David Burrows. It was a handball shot, I think, against Burrows. Muted from the crowd. Keown driving it in. Platt, oh, just hit Dublin, didn't know a lot about it. Steve Bold on by Bergkamp. Hughes had to come back to Upson. Parler, he'll have a crack. Oh, what a good crack it was too. I don't think Ray Parler's had a better season for Arsenal. He's outstanding against Manchester United here. On by Hall. Huckabee looking to stretch his legs, and Boulder's headed it against him, and it'll come here for Gary McAllister now. Well, he's had a few sights of goal. He felt he should have had a corner there. Boulder was a little unfortunate to see the ball rebound against Huckabee. Difficult to say whether Manninger got a touch or not. He seemed to have it covered. Bergkamp. Here's Mendes. Into Bergkamp. Offside. Offside. Isn't going to count. Well, after 88 minutes, somebody has finally hit the back of the net. But only after a flag had been raised. Or maybe just Green checked and stepped up. Difficult to know for sure, but Bergkamp was said to be on Breen. This is Upson. Nielsen's header. Telfer well challenged by Upson. This is Christopher Ray. David Platt. Is it his turn again? Instead finds Lee Dixon. Cross deflected, corner kick. Last minute. Steve Bold is forward. Martin Keown is forward. Everybody bar Ray Parler and Alex Manninger are forward. Hughes takes. Ball with a header. A little flick there from Christopher Ray. Well, that would have been the moment to score your first goal for Arsenal, wouldn't it? Steve Bold won the initial aerial duel. Just directed over the crossbar, although covered, in fairness, by Grizovic. It was looping and wouldn't really have caused him a problem, I don't think. Telfer waiting for Nielsen to make his run. There will be a throw-in. Coventry fans gathered in that corner. It'll be a long night for them, with extra time beckoning, unless somebody can come up with something from this. There's not time. It's goalless. It's been a match which has promised us goals. There have certainly been some near misses. Both Anelka and Mendes hit the woodwork for Arsenal, and Coventry have had their moments too. But as in the last round here, when Arsenal eventually overcame Birmingham City, it goes to extra time at Highbury. It was for the benefit of the Premiership's busiest clubs that the radical decision was taken to do away with replays and go straight to extra time and penalties at the end of the first meeting in this year's competition. Arsenal duly obliged by scoring 3 times against Birmingham here. Ooh. Well, that's the closest Coventry have come to scoring tonight through Darren Huckabee within 20 seconds of the restart. Cut inside and smashed it against the near post. Parler. Mendes almost too close to him there, and here's Burrows now to Hall. It's a good cross too, just beyond Dublin. It's hit with a lot of pace. Certainly very difficult to defend against. Whipped in by Marcus Hall. Hughes. Bergkamp onside, he's got beyond shore. It's Dennis Bergkamp now. Lifted over a Kruzovic. It's a peach of a finish from you-know-who. Kruzovic beaten, the deadlock broken with 10 minutes of extra time played. And Bergkamp, having got free of shore, had that little bit of expertise, that little bit of extra craft to unlock the door to the game. At pace, just lifted the ball beyond Kruzovic, and favoured by the bounce off the post at last, Arsenal take the lead. But this is done at full pelt, with a goalkeeper coming out to make it difficult for you. That's what's so wonderful about Bergkamp's technique. He can produce it under pressure. Burrows towards Huckabee. Oh, he's turned Keown here. It's Darren Huckabee. Well, it was a rather tepid finish. He looked to side-foot the ball either side of Manning and side-footed it right to him. Nothing tepid about his speed over the ground. Given Keown sufficient of a problem there to force a foul, but didn't really believe in himself enough with this finish. The shot that he drove against the post at the start of extra time was hit with gusto. That wasn't. Coventry still very much a factor in this game. Whoa, it's a good save by Manninger from Breen. McAllister whipped it in. Breen got a headed touch, and Manninger got a very strong touch diving away to his left, enough to turn it away. Well, it was ITV's own Bob Wilson who had to make a judgment on Alex Manninger on behalf of Arsenal. He had a 3-day trial with the club, and his judgment seems to be pretty sound. Bergkamp, Parler. A lot of men still for Hughes to aim for. Keown. Squeezing across, there's Steve Bold! Well, in the centre-halves academy, there'll be some discussion, because that was an excellent cross from one, Martin Keown, to another, Steve Bold. Dublin the target, won by Upson, only as far as Nielsen. Difficult volley to control, it was almost too close to his body. Having to try and steer the ball. But Coventry City are still alive and kicking in this game. Keogh though to Hughes. About to run a long way here, Stephen Hughes. Fancies his chances. Good save by Krizovic. Good hit too by Hughes. This is Christopher Ray. Back in towards Bergkamp. Nielsen first to the ball. And Nielsen trying to find McAllister. Telford made the most advanced run. Huckabee had pulled over on the right-hand side. The move rather petered out. But they backed off and invited Hughes to shoot. And he accepted the invitation. Williams. Huckabee's on his way. He's got beyond Bold. It's Darren Huckabee. Good save by Manninger. Well, that could be a match-winning save. Huckabee's pace took him beyond the Arsenal defence, but he couldn't get the ball beyond the Arsenal goalkeeper. Ray to Bergkamp, meanwhile. Good stop by Krizovic at the other end. I don't know that Darren Huckabee did an awful lot wrong here, but just like his senior partner, David Seaman, Manninger has presence, physical presence, and a growing confidence too. Countdown has begun. Ray thought he was getting a corner there, and he's not. It's a goal kick. Quarter-final of this competition is in January, the semi-final in February, and the final at March, the end of March at Wembley Stadium. Anybody left in the last day, however grave and great their commitments elsewhere in football, has got to be thinking about committing their very best resources to trying to win this competition. Dennis Bergkamp won the match with a goal in extra time. It'd be interesting to see how many of his senior colleagues are on view when Arsenal play next. Coventry City ran them close, make no mistake about it. They were always a factor in the game, as evidenced by the excellence of the young Arsenal goalkeeper, Alex Manninger. But it was the returning Bergkamp and that little touch of class that he brought to proceedings in extra time, which eventually settled the issue. Arsenal go through by 1-0.
Coventry played very well. They gave a little bit up when we scored the goal, but until we scored the goal, it was very difficult. And even after that, Manninger made a great save.
It's a good game. Far better than the game we had down here at the beginning of the season. Shows we've progressed a lot. I had 12 mentally strong lads out there today, and that's what you need to do to play against top-class sides. I want to beat with a piece of world-class football. That you can do that so many things, but that was world-class what he did.
Well, it was a bit disappointing with a couple more finishes earlier in the game. I couldn't really find the rhythm in front of the goal, but I had some time to think about what I was going to do when I went on one-on-one with Carly. But
he had to work very hard, and what is very interesting, he lasted the whole 2 hours without any problem, and became always stronger and scored at the end of the game. So that makes it was a very good game and very important game for him.
Les, Gordon Strachan there said he thought it was a good game. What was your view overall?
I think there was a lot of incidents in the game where, you know, if Coventry had won the game, you wouldn't have complained about it. You know, and Arsenal's going to win it, and he's still not complaining about it because I think both keepers played really well. Lots of shots on goal, but no one really dominated the game. No one really got hold of it and said, well, we're going to take control of this.
Yeah, it needed really an early chance to go in, didn't it? I mean, for it to sort of set it really alight.
Yeah, while we was watching, that was the one thing we said if we could get an early goal, it would be fantastic. And for the whole game, that's what was missing.
Yeah. Well, it were, as you said, chances both ends, especially, well, Arsenal went closest. The young pretender to Ian Wright's crown, as it were, and even Dennis Bergkamp. This is Nicholas Anelka, Les.
Yeah, first of all, a good ball from Martin Keown there to Lee Dixon, linking up well. gets his head up and pulls the ball back. It's a good strike, and from here it looks like it's in all the way. He comes off the bar there, and he found himself very unfortunate.
Yeah, but the game was won by the master craftsman we talked about, Dennis Bergkamp.
Fantastic ball from Hughes, good run from Bergkamp. As we see, we've seen him do this so many times. Takes 2 touches, and on that third touch, the third touch is so quick that the goalkeeper thinks he's going to take a third touch and he's going to get there.
Absolutely.
But we've seen Dennis Bergkamp do pretty similar to the Paul Scholes goal. That,
yeah, I was going to say, reminiscent, wasn't it,
yeah,
to that goal against Cameroon?
Goalkeeper coming out and just lifts it over.
Talking about the goalkeeper, you mentioned young Alex Manninger. He's only 20-year-old, this Austrian, standing in for David Seaman, and he made 2 crucial saves when it was 1-0 to Arsenal.
That's right. He more or less kept them in the game. He made 2 fantastic saves. This is the first. Good cross. Gets through a lot of people. Sees it late, but what makes this a good save is he pushes it wide and, you know, it stops anyone from coming in and getting an easy tap in.
And this in the closing moments of the game, really, Les, wasn't it?
That's right. Darren Huckleby coming in on his left side. He's not left-sided. Pulls it onto his right foot, and there again we see him making a very good save. But all round, I thought his goalkeeping was very good to me.
Yeah. It was occurring to me, Les, that it doesn't help your cause at Tottenham that Arsenal are doing as well as they're doing right now.
No, I think that's one of the biggest problems, is the fact that Arsenal are doing very well and Tottenham have fallen behind. Not only Arsenal, but the likes of Chelsea and even West Ham have creeped in the side door.